October 25th, 2015. Undead from Cleveland, you're listening to Video Game News Radio with your host, Kevin Baird.
Ryan Baird.
Don Anderson.
And Larry Mack.
All right, we got a full crew this week. And
there was no Jersey.
With our top 20 titles of the week. Last week you couldn't hear the music at all on the feed, which I'm sure some people are happy with. So it sounds a little louder to the hosts this week. I'm also had to adjust some, like for some reason my webcam was also picking up audio. So I shut that off. Not the cam, but the audio part. And I think that was also causing the volume to fluctuate. I'm not sure. So if the volume fluctuates, I'm going to keep adjusting it. We're eventually going to get a show where it's really low, it's in the background.
You've been saying that forever, man.
But it's hard because the live recording sounds much different than the recording that on the and there's no way to hear it while I'm doing this show, so I have to tinker.
Should have done that before the show.
Well, there's no way to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
I have to have a show and then
Tinker.
It has to be live. Well, I raised everything. I tinkered this week, but I won't hear the results until the show's done.
I tinkered in my pants.
It doesn't really matter. It's a VGN. We experience bad audio.
I see what you did there.
We don't have belly buttons.
I will say that Anderson's audio has been fantastic since we got you that other laptop.
Who?
Like yours.
Oh.
Like, it used to be horrible.
No.
Forever. Through the history of the show.
Except for even with this new one, you guys had me fucking putting in headphones and shit. Remember, you were like, "There's an echo, and it's Anderson."
Well, that's true. But I mean, when you talk, we can hear you fine. Like before, you would always turn into Tron, or you'd be on the phone and get disconnected.
Now it's Brian who always,
Yeah, last week Brian sounded like a freaking robot through the beginning of the show. He doesn't care though.
No, not at all.
so it all works out. Everybody's happy.
It's like watching a TV show where all of a sudden the characters start speaking a different language, but there's no subtitles, so you're just supposed to guess what's going on. That's the same thing when Brian was talking. You're just like, okay, well, foreign language. Okay. We'll do our top 20 titled drinking game. There's no games that came out this week, by the way, or coming out this week. No games on the games list coming out this week. So I don't know if that's really true, but that's what the game list says. So we're just not going to do the games coming out this week.
Looking it up.
But here's the top 20 list. If we list off something that's not a video game on the video games list, you have to drink. I'm drinking my Diet Dr. Wow, and do what everybody else is drinking.
Why do you always drink like rubbish? It's always generic rubbish.
It's cheap.
Yeah,
cheap.
Like you seriously can't. Like you have a robot army. You got the whole thing. I mean, you seriously can't pay the extra 50 cents to get a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper.
Ghetto tea.
I actually like this. It's pretty good. I wouldn't drink it if it's terrible. There's some generic stuff that's really terrible. This is actually pretty good. What?
As long as you're not making it.
No, I could make that. But, yeah.
You could.
Number 20.
What happened to your cola making thing?
I still have it, but it gets it's expensive.
Make our own Shasta.
Since I found
that was great. Go to Kevin's like, here, I'll make you a beverage. You're like, ooh, look at this guy. He's got magic.
I know. Larry's house, you get cold, uncooked pizza. Kevin bakes you a cake and makes you soda.
Oh, brother.
Hey, man.
All right, number 20.
Everybody at my house, all I heard about it was my fucking... Hey, Brian, you gonna fucking make some, oven food with your weird red paste again? Ha ha ha. You guys are looking at me all longing and starving.
Old microwave cheese sticks.
Microwave shit, from...
buried in ice.
Just like you get over at Chi-Chi's, if it still existed.
It's just some weird... Yeah, like I didn't mind the hot dog things in the crust.
Well, yeah, you guys fucking ate. That's the part you always leave out.
Those are fine. I just didn't understand.
And then like, hey, Brian gave us red paste. And,
I didn't understand what that red paste was, though. What was that?
Marinara sauce.
Yeah, it came with it.
Marinara sauce. I remember it being paste-like.
I'm not saying it was quality marinara sauce.
All right. Well, listen, that was so long ago.
As much as I enjoy our time together and love the show, no, I will not be breaking out the 18-year-old single malt fucking small batch reserve Glenfiddich tonight.
And by the way, Larry, when he has people over, has donuts and
as opposed to Kevin, who gives you a cake
and brownies,
cake,
and pizza that you have to order from his coupon list.
No, the pizza's always on the straight.
His coupon.
But there's actually a lot of food at Larry's.
Just none of it's edible or recently cooked.
Hell, dude, last time I made a fucking turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Supposedly. No one was actually there to see that we know.
There were
that
pictures.
could just be a story. We're not sure it actually happened. All right, number 20.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate for the Xbox One. That's a game. Number 19, Halo 5 Guardians Preload on the Xbox One. That's a game. It's a little weird. You can buy like the game with a card rather than buying it on the system, and it downloads to your console. It's a game, but it's sketchy. Number 18, The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes for the 3DS. Number 17, PlayStation 4 500 gigabyte limited edition system. Star Wars.
That is not a game.
Drinking.
Is that a game?
No.
Okay.
It comes with Star Wars, but it's not.
Gotcha. Drinking.
Star Wars.
Number 16, the Xbox One 1 terabyte console Halo 5 Guardians Edition.
Jesus Christ.
Drink. Number 15, Star Wars Battlefront Deluxe Edition for the Xbox One. I canceled my pre-order of that because
it's going to come out
the reviews of the beta made it sound like it's a kid's game. And I wasn't spending $60 on a kid's game. I'll just rent it. Number 14, Light Blue Yarn Yoshi Amiibo. Not a game.
Not a game.
Larry, what are you drinking this week?
Today we are going with, ironically, because Kevin and I were discussing this at the bar this week, we're going with the Labatt Blue Royale.
Oh.
Because I'm
classy. About the Royale?
I don't know.
Oh. I don't know anything about
Because it's Labatt and Canadian, they have a king.
Yeah. Maybe it's the French Labatt Blue. Because it's Royale, you know?
Yeah,
well, it's Labatt, not Labatt.
Yeah, well, Canada is what I'm saying.
But I've decided I need to make some life changes.
Again?
So this is also the Labatt Blue Royale Light. So, like, next week, I'll probably be, like, all ripped up and shit.
Oh, yeah.
We're drinking the light beer now.
Number 13, Super Mario Maker for the Nintendo Wii U.
Mario Maker.
Number 12, Star Wars Battlefront Deluxe Edition for the PlayStation 4. Number 11, Assassin's Creed Syndicate for the PlayStation 4. Number 10, Hori's Amiibo Card Folio. That is not a game.
Cornholio.
It's like a thing to put your Animal Crossing cards into.
Animal Frosting.
Drink. Number 9, FIFA 16 Standard Edition for the PlayStation 4. Number 8, PlayStation 4 500 gigabyte Uncharted The Nathan Drake Collection game system. Not a game. Drink. Number 7, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Standard Edition for the PlayStation 4. And then number 6 is the same for the Xbox One. Number 5, we have the Microsoft Xbox wireless adapter for Windows 10. That's the last drink, so drink well.
Drink.
Number 4 is the Halo 5 Guardians Limited Edition for the Xbox One. Number 3 is Fallout 4 for the Xbox One. Comes out November 10th. And number 2 is the Fallout 4 for the PlayStation 4. And number 1 is Halo 5 Guardians for the Xbox One.
Yeah, it is. Game of the year right there.
Surprising that it's
Calling my
beating
shot.
out Fallout, but I guess you got a divided audience there. Okay, Brian, tell us about your week.
Let me see. What went on this week? Pretty much nothing. I went to work. It's the usual. I had a lot more.
Birth certificate.
Yeah, I got the long form of my birth certificate, which was kind of nice. That way, in case they don't believe my short form, because they could say no, I don't believe you. I have a long form, so now I have the short and the long. Go figure.
That's what she said.
Yeah, baby. What else did I do this week? We probably got a lot more freight because we have inventory coming up. So
we do.
Had a lot of stuff that I don't normally have to deal with, which was kind of nice. My runs were so big that they had to cut them in half, so I was getting home. Save miles, a lot less work, sort of. And then I was supposed to have a driver's meeting on last Saturday, and I didn't go because I didn't sleep since Friday. I got up at 3:30 in the morning on Friday, and I was still awake. 3:30 in the morning on Saturday. I'm I'm not fucking going there for this, Besides, they're gonna get rid of us. Who cares? So
this is critical information that you need to know, Brian.
I could give a fuck. Anyway, besides that, nothing. I mean, really, I've watched a couple of movies. A lot of the genuine classics. Saw the new Terminator, which I posted it on Facebook, and immediately somebody was like, "Worst movie ever made by them." I'm like, "That's okay, whatever." Apparently, you didn't see 3, because I thought 3 was the worst. I thought the new one wasn't too bad. What else? Gaming-wise, still on The Witcher 3, and I'm doing pretty much everything. Had my first sex scene, yeah! It was a typical Witcher sex scene, very gratuitous.
If it was your first one, how is it typical?
I've seen the rests on video. My first was special. Don't you ruin it. Other than that, though, really nothing new going on in my life. Huh?
Play any more Witcher?
Did we just
Witcher? No, Witcher. Did you play?
Where the fuck were you? I just had this conversation. I just said just play more Witcher. Did you play more Witcher? No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. To comment longer on it or something.
No,
he just said he had his first Witcher sex scene.
Yeah.
Oh, which one was it?
I'm not telling you. You're just gonna ignore me again. Forget it.
Come on. You had your chance to listen to his story.
Yeah.
And you
now
blew
you're
it.
interested because there's booty involved. I see. The hell?
Well, it wasn't with Tris Marigold, was it?
Who?
The redhead.
No. No, it was with the sorceress.
Tell us more about it.
The dark-haired one, the blonde.
It's with the dog.
Did you kiss her or did she kiss you?
We kissed each other.
You touch her.
And I respected her later, in case any listeners out there want to jump on that bandwagon.
Respected her by slitting her throat and leaving.
No, but there's you could have.
Right.
They have all kinds of, stuff where they're kind of like, you use me. You hear that a lot. Other than that, man, that's pretty much it.
All right, Don, how was your week?
It was all right. No, it was just another typical week. I took Sophie to that that IX Center Trick or Treat Street.
Oh, they had that.
It's like for those who don't know, it's like the IX Center is the place where we went to high school for like a month.
Yeah.
And how long did we go to school there?
About half a year.
It wasn't. It was months. Didn't we come? Weren't we back?
Oh yeah, it was definitely months.
Wow. Okay. I thought it was just like 2 months, something like that. Whatever.
Well, that's multiple months, but it was. They had to rebuild the front of the school. I mean,
half the year's
burned up. You gotta burn it up, and then you gotta tear it down, and then you gotta put in all that new stuff.
Well, anyways, the IX Center, it's like an indoor. They have an indoor, whatever you call it, fairground.
Amusement park.
Well, because they got the giant Ferris wheel sticks out the roof of the building, and it's up on this huge pedestal, and then then they have all these, they have all the other little rides come in, pony rides and shit, and everybody gets dressed up, and then they have an area where you can walk around and get candy and shit. And so I took Sophie to that, and it is what it is.
Did you have fun?
Whatever. In my own way. in my own way, like.
You enjoyed yourself. You had your kid. It's fine.
I'm with her, and she's having fun, and she's running.
Just evilest bastards, man. It wasn't metal, so
Well, right. There was like there was a dude walking around in a Morbid Angel t-shirt, and
Why'd you wear a Morbid Angel t-shirt? I mean,
nothing, right? I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. That's fine. I get it, dude. You got to bring your kid. You take your kid to IX Center Trick or Treat Street. I'm down with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was just like so bummed out. He was just like, I'm too metal for this. And it was just like, dude, get over yourself. You're not too metal for your fucking kid. Everybody knows. You know what I mean? Anybody who knows you knows you. You don't have to fucking, worry about that shit. But whatever. It was good. She went there. She's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Band this year. And the costume was fucking sweet. It better be. It cost me fucking $40, so. Yeah.
You had a good time, man.
And I did my usual. I just basically walk around with her looking for single moms. It's like every chick I run into, it's like, all right, let me see your left hand. Even then, I know it doesn't matter, but it's a good starting point.
Let me see your left hand.
I'm not going to waste my time with somebody with a ring.
Have you sworn yourself to Satan? What? I thought you were looking for a ring. No, a ring.
Looking for this tattoo, invisible.
Yeah. There's a little thing on your palm blinking.
Yeah. It's time for
Runner!
Sophie's like, I got to go on it's time for carousel, Daddy. I was like, no. I'm not going on that thing.
There's no sanctuary.
I went on the giant Ferris. I think I'm too old for rides now because I went on the giant Ferris wheel.
No, I am. I have a heart attack.
And I got a little loopy in the head. I got a little dizzy.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it anymore, man. Exact same reason. I'm just like, dude, if I get anything, I'm going to be like,
Yeah, I was just like, damn, that sucks.
All right.
There you go. Move on.
Larry, how was your week?
Oh, it was another action-packed week in the life of Larry Mack. Let's see, this week, what did we do? What didn't we do this week?
Lot.
Played some volleyball. Another demoralizing week of volleyball this week.
In the week of Cleveland sports. Imagine that.
Yeah. Went of course to Dina's, where Kevin, Joe, and I, between the three of us, failed to kill 2 gift certificates because we're lame lightweights. So we have to go back again to use all our Spock's brain loot. Let's see. Thursday, I went out to a fabulous event held at the Twinsburg Humane Society, ASPCA shelter, whatever the hell they call them now. I was out there for Yappy Hour. It was a beer tasting, and they try to convince you that you need to adopt a puppy or a kitten or something.
Dude, they look delicious.
One of the girls at work, volunteers there, and she's like, they're going to have beer there. And I was like, I get beer. It's for a good cause. I'll go. And what else do I have to do on a Thursday night? After that, got myself... I have officially made it 1 year at my job without getting fired.
Congratulations, sir.
I had my anniversary to celebrate. Got a nice little bottle of scotch, which we have commented on previously. Then, let's see, Friday, went out with people from work to play some whirly ball.
Did Rob give you that bottle of scotch?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
I can't afford that shit.
Nice.
Although, I mean, it's basically on par with the bottle of Crown I got him for Christmas last year. So I think that was just, to payback. So I would feel all like, damn, now I got to do the same thing again this year. Friday, I went to play whirly ball with some people at work.
The hell's whirly ball?
Whirly ball. It's kind of like lacrosse. You got the little scoop and the ball, and you're trying to throw the ball in the goal, but you're doing it in bumper cars.
Oh, okay. That could be kind of fun.
It's totally as fun as it sounds, except if you happen to be as old as I might be, who knows, and pushing 600 pounds, them bumper cars will do a number on your knees.
Oh, yeah.
When it was all over, I was like crawling across the floor because after an hour of squeezing myself into a bumper car and ramming into everybody, and of course because you got the little steering handle in the middle, taking a couple shots to the nuts from people ramming me head on, Um,
Fun for the whole family.
Yeah, totally fun. Had a great time there. Before that, got out of work a little bit early, so one of my work friends and I stopped at the Winking Lizard right down the block because I've been slacking and I need to get back to work on getting my hoodie. Yesterday, quiet night at home. Ordered up a salad and a sub and watched some scary movies. They were showing all the Paranormal Activities, so watched those with Cindy and drank some scotch.
Yeah, Kevin, you saw the new one, right?
Yeah.
You like
And
it?
then,
Like all the other ones.
I like all the other ones, so that's good.
Seeing all of them in a row, like 4, cool ending, mostly sucked, no purpose for Paranormal Activity for 4. I don't know what the hell was supposed to be going on. I'm not sure what I was supposed to take away from that.
A lesson?
I liked the way the first 3 sort of fit together in reverse order, but the 4th one, complete waste of time.
I thought the 4th one was pretty good. It could have been better, though. I agree, but
there's like that random kid across the street, and I'm like, so who the fuck is he? And they don't really explain anything.
Did it play the spin-off? Did you see that, the March ones?
No, didn't see that one.
Yeah, there's that one, and then there's also the Japanese one.
Never even heard of that one.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's not the Japanese one. Yeah, it's not that great.
It's okay. All right. I'm not getting anywhere in Payday anyway. Yeah, so I saw that, and it was okay. It didn't. I don't care if I'm going to be a spoiler because it's just a horror movie. Like, if you watch the other ones, there's like all these witches, and so you're like, okay, there's going to be something with the witches because the last one kind of ended with the witches and stuff, and then like for inexplicable reasons, they show the 2 little girls, and the witches introduce them to a dude. He's like a hippie dude, and he's telling them that they have to get ready for the return of, Toby. I think that's the name of the
Toby.
And yeah, and so they're watching these videotapes about this guy training these girls about Toby. They have a totally different house because they said that the old house burned down and they built this new house on top of it. And Katie wasn't even in this one.
Yeah, it sucks.
There's nobody from the original ones that show up.
I like
and it's not even like like all of them. It doesn't have a real ending. It kind of just ends, and it's supposed to be the last one, but it's like there was no ending. So it had some scares, though. I mean, it had like all of them. It had some jump scares.
Was it as good as the one we saw?
No, I mean, this is probably the weakest one that I've seen. The last one wasn't that great. Marked Ones was better than this. But it still had some jump scares, so I didn't think it was a waste of time. But I just expected more because it's supposed to be the last one. They're like, all your answers will be synced. And then, you can see the monster in this one. And you can see the... what's going on because they find this camera that allows them to see what's going on. But it's not like anything happens with it. It's like the dumbest family on earth, really. They're like, look at this video. There's like this demon talking to our child. Get out of the house! Yeah. Leave! It's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, it's just an isolated incident. It won't happen again.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. But all of these movies are. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. It's just like the rest. So, I mean, you lump it in there, but you wish there was more because they told you there'd be more, and there's not. That's all. Okay. Did I do anything else this week? We went to Dina's for acoustic night, Larry and me and Joe, and that was terrible.
Did you play some acoustic instruments?
The food was good.
Kazoo, glockenspiel.
No, it's just these people playing music. But it was really forgettable. They were okay, I guess, but
Glockenspiel's music.
it just...
Racket.
I don't think anybody was paying attention to the band. Like, everybody at the bar just looked like they had one too many days at work, and they had those faces, and
Faces of
just
death.
drank. Eventually just left. Sad night.
It's a night of sadness.
This week we're going to go to Islander and play trivia. No. Name that tune. Anderson, you should show up. Because
Name that tune.
you and Larry, we should be pretty unstoppable doing all the songs you guys know.
I know songs, but I'm not good with names.
Because I know I'm terrible. The only shit I listen to is, 80s metal and weird techno and shit that nobody's going to have in their thing. But, I mean, if they play country or jazz, Brian should show up, but I know he won't. Because he would know like a lot of weird, obscure shit.
Oh, you need Sam and you need Oz.
No, because they only know like shit from the 70s.
But that's what we know.
They play like new stuff or rap or something. Those guys aren't going to know anything.
I ain't gonna know that.
Know.
But you know kids' music.
I don't know anything.
I don't.
Yeah, if you're gonna be playing Nickelodeon songs, oh yeah, sure.
Well, I'm sure they play a little bit of everything.
Disney Network, yeah, I'm on it. But,
Larry's the expert, but I think he left the show right now to go take a dump. So,
well, we got to take a piss. We got to take a piss. What are you gonna do?
All right, let's do the news. I don't even know if this is news right here. I don't know why this is weird. It's on the Sci-Fi channel. Sci-Fi Games, now featuring news from G4. G4? It's not on anymore, is it? Alright, I'm just going to erase that. I don't know what that is.
So much for that.
well, there goes that one.
Sony is leaving PlayStation Vita development to third parties, a top executive said, as the company focuses its efforts to the PlayStation 4. Masayasu Ito, a senior vice president with the company, told the Japanese language site 4Gamer that, quote, first-party studios have no titles in development for PlayStation Vita, adding that Sony Computer Entertainment strategy now is to focus on PlayStation 4. That's according to a translation by the DualShockers. Because I guess this website, Quality Guy couldn't just go there and right-click and say translate like anybody else. If that literally is the case, that would spell an end to the handheld run for the Sony-developed MLB The Show series after 10 years. We have asked the Sony Computer Entertainment American rep for clarification, though. It's possible Ito may have meant new titles in development, considering the show an ongoing iterative series, or that he misspoke. So yeah, this is what we were saying before. I think the Vita's basically dead. There's some Japanese developers that'll continue to develop on it if they're making money, but it's a dead system. It's done. Wouldn't be surprised if Sony stops producing it, if they haven't already, and just quietly withdraws from the mobile market. It's kind of sad, because that will leave us with one company that makes a dedicated mobile platform. But what are you going to do? Sony's throwing the towel. I don't know.
They quit.
People just didn't want to buy a Vita. I get it. They don't. What for? They got a phone. They want to play games on their phones and their tablets. They don't want to play games on the Vita or the PSP. But for some reason, kids, they love that 3DS shit. They're like, we'll play the fuck out of some 3DS. Maybe Sony should have targeted
That
kids.
just never goes away. It's crazy.
It is. It's really popular
The
system.
Vita.
Batman Arkham Knight will be re-released on PC on October 28th. See, there's a game coming out this week. Was it on the list, though? Warner Brothers Interactive, well, I guess it already came out, technically. The game returns to the online store 4 months after a disastrous bug-filled launch led to its abrupt removal. I think it's the first time a game's ever been released and then pulled and then released again.
Wow.
I think so. I don't recall that ever happening before. When it returns, Arkham Knight will be patched to include all free content that has been released for the game's console editions, excepting any console-exclusive content. It's kind of a weird thing to say. That includes the game's photo and big head modes, the Arkham Asylum character skin for Batman, and character selection in the Combat AR Challenge. I don't get how people will play through a whole game of Arkham Knight and then want to play it again, but in big head mode,
Right.
It's just how much, I don't know, kids maybe, but I mean, how much free time do you have? That's you got to be in that one weird family where you got a system and you got one game. That's it. That's your game. You're not getting any more.
Yeah, you get 15 minutes.
And you play that game forever. That's all you get. Can't even borrow them from your friends because your parents will take it.
Why you got that? I was borrowing it from down the street. Give it back to him.
Yeah. I didn't approve that.
Yeah. I didn't say you could borrow that.
I like how Kotaku has this thing about how people fought with swords on their website. You know how people fought with swords in real life? With shields.
Yeah.
I just want you guys to know. They fought with fucking shields.
Really?
Video games always have people fighting with swords without shields. Because that's cool in a video game. You can't really do a lot to a shield with a sword. You can bang on it all day.
Well, no, because it'll fall apart eventually.
Well, yeah, but if it's made out of wood. But the guy will just get tired eventually. You got to hold that heavy shield up. You're going to make some mistake at some point, but the battle's going to go on for a while. I imagine that real sword and shield combat was some tiring shit.
Well, yeah.
You're out there and you're fighting. You're doing full on combat to the death. You're probably exhausted in about 15 minutes. You're just I can't keep doing this. Shit. Come on, Sven. Hold your shield up. I can't, man. I'm whipped.
I'm tired.
I gotta go back to the water cart. Oh, you're not going to the water cart. Get back out there in the line. Yeah. And swords would break. That's why they eventually came up with steel, so your sword wouldn't break, because you're banging over and over again on a shield to try to break it, and if you don't break it, your sword breaks. That's what happens. That was how combat was. Nobody in their right mind went into combat with just a sword. You just hit the guy in the hand. You'd be like, ah! Ow! Yeah.
Drop your shit. Ow, ow, ow.
That's bullshit. You hit me in the hand.
You're trying to run away, but you got 20 guys behind you pushing you forward. You're like, ah, and then you're just dead.
I mean, the first thing I would invest in would be the shield before the sword. It'd be like shield training. So, Obviously, my ancestors somehow survived through that shit, so I could be here today to mock it. But, I'm just saying. This bullshit where people... Fencing swords, like the... oh, we got that echo from Anderson. Done. Okay. Yeah. Fencing swords, maybe. That, jumping on a ship, fighting, sword to sword with the captain or something. But I think in most of those cases...
the captain.
I think in those cases, they just pulled out the gun and the guy's head exploded from the blunderbuss bullet. Yeah. You got a gun and a sword through most of that. The Three Musketeers stuff it's all Hollywood. It looks good when two guys are just fighting with swords. That's great shit. In real life, you're getting a shield. You're totally getting a shield.
Nobody's training you to fight with a sword, being like, okay, now here, I want you to run up this wall, do a complete backwards flip, and assault me.
Right.
You never know when you're going to have to jump off a set of stairs, go across a room on a curtain.
But if you look at old knights and stuff, they wear solid armor. You'd probably hammer on that shit all day and not hurt the guy underneath that.
Those fights back then were probably the most boring fights in the world. Just donk, donk.
Well, unless you were in them.
You can't beat me up.
Stop it! Bam!
You're trying to get the sword in between that little vent in the eye.
Right, you're like, I gotta get in a certain spell. Those are probably, I mean, if you're off to the side watching this, you're like watching them like try to run at each other, like ka-chung, ka-chung, ka-chung.
I'm so tired.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. I've been marching for a mile.
Sweating, it's pinching your skin.
Stink like hell.
Oh, fucking making shitloads of noise.
Right. Come on.
Yeah.
Ah.
Definitely carrying a shield if you're going to go somewhere. That's just all there is to it. What do movies, Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, Gem and the Holograms, The Last Witch Hunter, Steve Jobs, and Rock the Casbah all have in common?
Suck.
They all flopped at the box office this weekend, allowing The Martian to return to first place in its fourth week in release. Yeah, I've heard good things about that Steve Jobs movie, but isn't it like the third Steve Jobs movie? Nobody cares about Steve Jobs that much that they want to watch three fucking films, let alone one about the guy.
Never wanted to watch one.
I mean, really boring. It's probably thrilling, but you look at it and you're just like, it's going to be boring. I'm not watching that. What do I care about a rich guy who had struggles making richy things
for richy people?
Yeah, right. For richy people at his richy company. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the Vin Diesel, The Last Witch Hunter, I knew that was going to be a turd.
Right.
Gem and the Holograms, apparently that's garbage. Yeah. Nothing surprising here. Rock the Casbah, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Bill Murray.
Oh, really? Yeah, he hasn't been doing very much.
Bill Murray. He's doing Bill Murray movies.
Yeah.
He's old enough where he's just like, listen, I'm going to do a movie. And they're like, well, what do you want to do? And he pitches the idea, and they're like, Bill, I don't know if that really means anything. He goes, I'm fucking Bill Murray. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. And he just does it. That's how he did that Aquatic Life.
Yeah, that was one of those,
go ahead.
Aquatic or whatever.
What's that director's name? Wes Anderson? Yeah. That was a Wes Anderson film. Yeah. I don't know how to describe him, but, you know, you either like his movies or you don't. Because they're, I don't know. They're interesting, but they're not like a normal movie. Steam Top 10. Number 10 is South Park, The Stick of Truth. Number 9 is Tales of Zestiria. Number 8 is Rocket League. Number 7 is Tales of Zestiria again. Doesn't say why they're both on there, but my guess is one's for Mac and one's for PC. Number 6 is Ark Survival Evolved. Number 5 is Rebel Galaxy. Number 4 is Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 3 is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Number 2 is Warhammer End Times Vermintide. Did you get that code, Brian?
Yeah, I got the code. I just haven't done it.
You should do it. Full game.
I will.
Number 1? No, you won't. You should do it. Number 1 is Fallout 4. Okay, so that's it for the news. Oh, wait, I got this one thing to say. Western Digital's buying SanDisk, by the way. That's not really gaming news, but if you ever sit around and go, whatever happened to SanDisk? Western Digital bought it. And Microsoft has stopped reporting console sales. Wonder why. Because they're losing. So they're not going to talk about that anymore. They're not going to mention
it's actually a brilliant strategy.
It is beneath us.
Just don't talk about it. So, that's it.
How were sales this quarter? Fuck you. That's how they were.
We sold some consoles.
Yay! People can hear me again. Damn it!
Just sell more than the PlayStation 4.
Oh, damn it!
We don't want your numbers.
We just sold some consoles. That's all you need to know.
Backwards. I did it backwards.
All right, we got a couple of emails this week.
I said it.
Couple. 3.
That's a load of bollocks.
This one's from Rite, and he writes to Closet Monster at videogamenews.com.
The Closet Monster.
Brian and the Closet Monster.
Scariest movie ever.
Hey, you fucking with the Closet Monster.
Sup, Don and crew.
Yo.
Giggity.
He always asks these questions. I don't even know. I should even read these anymore. What is the angriest you have ever been with another person over a video game? Has Brian ever smashed anything because of something that happened in World of Warcraft?
No.
Keep up the good work, blah, blah, blah.
I always got apathetic and just shut the shit off. I'm like, this is dumb.
Brian's broken shit, don't let him. He's usually because he can't get his character to do something. And then shit gets punched.
Pretty much.
Okay,
sure
I'll tell you the angriest I've ever. I actually have a question or an answer to a video game related question this week, so I'm going to answer this one.
Okay.
Fucking Team Fortress 2, when you're playing on a capture the flag map, where you have to capture the intelligence a certain number of times and take it back to your base, and two dudes, one on each team, are together, and the guy on your team will capture the intelligence but never cap it.
I don't know why it gets louder. It's weird. I'm sorry. I'm going to turn it down. I don't know why it's doing that. It's weird. I stopped talking, and then it's really loud. All right. Go ahead, Larry.
I did.
Oh. Sorry.
We're going to hear you over the guy lamenting his fucking life.
On Team Fortress 2, when you're doing the map where you have to capture the intelligence and take it back to your base, and one of the dudes will grab it but refuse to cap it, but he's on your team so you can't kill him because he's just a fucking cock, and he and his buddy on the other team want this one game to last forever.
Oh, they're just trying to make points? Yeah.
That and spawn camping. Spawn camping should be punishable by death. Not even in-game. Actual, literal death.
I've done that.
I know Anderson has been annoyed, but it's probably more like he was trying to get people to leave and they were still playing a video game or something. Like, it probably wasn't in-game. It was probably just like they were there playing and he was like, are you gonna go home?
I mean, I guess you could say yeah, that's probably right because if I'm playing a game and I get frustrated, I have the ultimate power and I can just hit the button and shut it off and be like, fuck you, like, done. But I think sitting there, having Adam over at the apartment playing Red Alert on the first PlayStation, and I'm standing there with a guitar in my hand and I go, Adam, I'm on my way to your house to go to band practice. Are you coming or not? And he's like, yeah, just let me build one more tank. And it's like, it finally got to a point where it was like you had to yell at him, go, dude, if you're just shutting it off, what is the fucking point of making another tank? You're not doing anything. Shut it off.
Because it's hard to stop playing when you're like you got your toys. Yeah.
And the thing is I've gone to his house. I went to his house, and I was there with Packard and George, and they're like, I wonder where Adam's at, and I'm like, oh, he's over at my place. You know, and they're like, why the fuck? Oh, he's playing video games.
And he won't leave.
Right, he won't leave.
Crazy.
I think that's probably it. Otherwise, I don't like throw controllers or shit. I don't get that bad. I don't think I've ever broken. Put some peanut butter on it and thrown it up against the wall. That's about it.
I'll rage quit, but I never get that way about it. I rarely rage quit either. I just get kind of...
I laugh.
Probably.
Annoyed, I guess.
I laugh about it.
I've rage quit, but I don't think I've ever smashed anything over something somebody else was doing.
Yeah. All right, this one's from Noble. He writes to They Are Coming For You, Barbara, at videogamenews.com. Hello, guys. Noble here.
Hello, Buck.
With a more relevant question for the panel.
That's not funny.
I've been thinking about innovation in games, considering the upcoming release of the annual Assassin's Creed game. As a fan of Elder Scrolls and Dead Rising, I was perfectly fine with several sequels essentially doing the same thing. But there comes the time when you have to innovate to grab the attention of more than the hardcore fans. So my question is this. What do you think is the best time for a sequel in a franchise to evolve before it becomes stale?
Well, then you a lot of money.
Third game, the fourth, or is it somewhere further down the line? Thanks for your time, Noble.
Every game should be original content and stories that have never been used before. No more sequels. I don't like having to keep up with this nonsense.
I think, games could be more standalone, but I think, they keep making, improvements, to first-person shooters, and so that first-person shooters get to be easier and, you know how to pick, you know how to pick one up and play one when you're in front of one. I mean, you just know how to do it. And I think that then it just comes down to writing a really good story and making it compelling enough to keep playing. And I think of problems with games like Assassin's Creed is that they end up with a lot of bugs. They end up with problems. Then, the frame rate was bad last time. And so, it made it so the game sucked, basically. And, you got to make it so it's less buggy. You got to make it more approachable and then build on those features, I think. If you go back to play old games, 8-bit games or something, a lot of those control schemes are nightmares. That's because nobody had anything to base anything on. So it was just awful on top of awful. Just bad. Early first-person shooters were always you could use the mouse to click on things like an adventure game and then move. I mean, it took a long time to just get shit so that it was normal. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I definitely Assassin's Creed every year. That's just for money. They're just doing it. It's Call of Duty's the same way. They're just doing, people keep buying them. They're just going to keep releasing them over and over again. It's like Madden. It's just it's the Madden thing. Just keep doing it over and over, and people are just going to keep buying it.
Of course. Gold edition, deluxe edition. I mean, they've shown that.
They just sell the name. They just keep selling the name, and people keep buying it. It's like Paranormal Activity. They keep coming out with them. People keep going, like me, and so they keep churning them out.
I mean, Christ, how many Saws were there?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
and 2, maybe 3 of those were good.
So that was on TV the other day. It was one of them was on Saw 3, Saw 4. I don't know what it was. And I was going through the guide and I stopped at it. And Sophie goes, Saw? And I was like, yeah, it's supposed to be a horror movie. And she's like, what do you mean it's supposed to be? I was like, more just brutal, just gruesome type stuff. Not really such a horror movie. More suspense, I guess. And
the first one was a great suspense movie.
She goes, really? She goes, what number is that? And I go, that's 4 or whatever. She goes, how many were there? I go, I think there was
I really like the first one a lot myself.
Yeah, the first one was great.
I go, I think there's 8 of them. She goes, how many have you seen? I go, the first one.
Yeah.
I only saw the first one. I go, it was really good, but then after that, it was just...
Makes your eyes bleed.
I didn't really watch any of the Saw films.
Well, nobody wanted you to.
I just started to watch Hostel. And
oh, God almighty, that's another one of those fucking...
I got halfway through it, and I haven't finished.
Actually, that one's weird, because I think the second one was actually better for Hostel.
I have the second one as well. These weird movies are showing up in my Vudu account, and I think it's Bailey that's doing it. And I'm getting these horror movies that are appearing in my Vudu account, all the time. And I'm not buying them, but they keep showing up. And I keep watching them, but it's weird. And new movies, too. He's doing something, but I'm not sure. I don't get what he's doing. Because I don't think I'm actually linked to his account, but, I don't know, maybe I am. I don't know. It's weird. I know you guys don't care, but it's really strange. Because I keep getting these horror movies. I got Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1, 2, 3. I got Hostel 1 and 2. I got Trick or Treat 1 and 2.
Prequel, the sequel.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2.
I watched that Tales of Halloween. That was pretty good.
It's just all this shit's appearing on my Vudu account. I'm not complaining. It's just really weird. All right, this is a whiny song. It's not my fault. You picked it. John Lippa's Pain.
Pain.
Okay, last email before we wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit early tonight so I can watch Weekend at Bernie's. No, The Walking Dead, and because last time it wouldn't start, and I had to wait until the middle of the night, and that sucks. Even though I'm off tomorrow.
Because everybody's already ruined it by then. Fucking spoiler alert and shit. Can you believe that should happen? As I told Joe, I'm like, Joe, just fucking wait a day. All right? You gotta be relevant. Just shut up. Wait a day.
I think when the new Star Wars comes out, I'm not going to be on the internet
At all.
until I've seen it. The internet or watch television. I'm just not going to do either. It'll be, even like the commercials will come on, and it'll be like for toys. It'll be like, and here's decapitated Han Solo toy. And I'll be like, what?
Wait a minute.
Just like go down in the basement at your house and just like flip the main. Don't even give yourself electricity.
Yeah.
Here's funeral pyre Chewbacca.
Right. Exactly.
Here's where Princess Leia got pregnant with Luke Skywalker's kids.
Here's Kylo Ren. His mask comes off to reveal Luke Skywalker. No!
Right. That's going to ruin the movie. It's going to be awful. All right. This is from Antonio.
Or you discovered like it was total dog shit. You're like, oh, thank God I didn't go see that movie.
It's Angry at the Lord at videogamenews.com. It says, hello, Don and crew.
Hello.
Quick and easy this week. What is the best Halloween you guys had? Or funniest Halloween moment? Just keeping the spirit of the holidays. Well, that's a good one. Best Halloween... we used to do a lot of haunted houses and shit, but I don't know about Halloween night. Probably the time I led a procession down to Briggs Haunted House. That was pretty fun.
That was pretty fun. You had that flash cube.
Yeah, that car came out after us or whatever. Yeah, that was a good time. I know I don't have a really good story to go with that because we were kids. It was just a good time. It was like 20 or 30 kids walking down to...
You guys done with my skeleton?
Briggs Haunted House, yeah. And we did a little trick-or-treating, and we stole a skeleton. And we got chased by some dudes in a car because I had that flash cube for the Polaroid camera.
Right.
Blasted at them.
That was awesome.
It was a good time. Larry, Brian?
I'm trying to think. There's so many, man. Like we went to the haunted schoolhouse when we were kids. Trick or treating was pretty cool because you get all into it. You could dress up and we would be like, "You're too old for this shit," whatever. There was just.
Do you remember trick or treating in the '70s at all?
Trick or treating?
Yeah, in the '70s.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, actually.
Oh. You were a kid in the '70s. I mean, you weren't too old.
I remember when Dad made me that crazy fucking axe, and then he made me a paper mache mask. I looked like a fucking serial killer. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember that axe. I think it was ridiculous. I don't know what Dad was thinking.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Oh, pretty much anything, because, wow.
Christ.
Yeah.
So you would never do that today. You'd get in so much trouble.
Oh, yeah.
He made him a halberd that he could just walk around with. Big piece of sheet metal on top of him. It wasn't razor sharp, but I mean, it would seriously do some damage if it came down on you.
It would still ruin your day.
Yeah. And you gave it to somebody who was bloodthirsty crazy back then. I totally wanted to just cut people's heads off, yeah. It was a weird thing my dad did. It's feeding into Brian's fantasies.
Well, yeah, I had a lot of those.
You suddenly became a Roman blacksmith. Larry? Did you ever do anything on Halloween?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to like call up like one cool story. I mean, because it was so long ago, the one year me and my buddy decided to just stay at his place and like scare the trick-or-treaters. So that year I made this, at the time, fairly cool Grim Reaper getup where like my face was all blacked out by another mask, so if you looked into the hood, it was all blank. I couldn't see shit, which was a problem, because I basically just had a giant black thing over my face.
God, I went to see Mushroom Head and went blind.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. And yeah, we set up the Halloween trick-or-treat candy there on the side. They had to go past me, and like he did the head sticking out of the table thing. And at the time, since this was before costumes were invented and stuff and were commonplace, the mold.
Everything was in black and white, right?
Yeah. And then there was another time I remember, but a group of us went to one of the haunted houses, and my girlfriend at the time, who clearly was not my wife.
Well, she was then.
Well, no, and you're about to hear why, because I'm bitter. She like straight up freaked out when something jumped out at her, and went like catatonic, fetal position on the floor, and wouldn't move.
Oh, she's one of those.
And I had to pick her up, put her over my shoulder, and carry her out of the place. Which is why it clearly was not my ex-wife.
That happened to Amber, and Mike carried her out.
So that was fun. But yeah, I actually forgot about the crazy mushroom head. Was that the one? Was that the one with the red eye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we started running out of oxygen until he opened the door.
Yeah.
And all
7 billion degrees because
yeah.
It's mushroom head playing at a friggin' bowling alley lounge.
I remember that. That was
sweltering.
And
then they were nice enough to dump out their cooler water all over us.
Yeah,
but most of us had our faces painted, so then we just had like face paint streaking into our eyes.
I was worried it was going to get
blind really fucking fast.
The ceiling was so low too; you could grab onto the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was dangerous in that place.
It was great white waiting to happen.
Yeah, totally. Okay, that's it for the show. We'll be back next week with Halloween talk, I guess, and daylight savings time will be over, so we'll be
even darker.
We'll be broadcasting at noon or something.
Yeah, probably. That's it. Good night. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.